Hey, everybody, welcome back to Easy to Spell, where the name's easy to spell, and we managed to mess it up anyway. Uh, Real quick, couple shout out, like, comment, subscribe, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. Hit the buttons, hit all the buttons at 100 interactions. I think I'm going to move this to on our videos. I get a script so that this all becomes a little bit less chaotic. As always, my name is Andrew Day. I am the Dungeon Master here at Easy to Spell, and with me.
Yeah, hey, that's me. You know,
We need the script.
yeah. I completely forgot about all of that. Yeah, I'm David. I play Kaya Bauer. And if you could, just to reiterate kind of what Andrew said, follow us on our socials, usually wherever you're at, /easy to spell, and you'll find us. So, yeah.
Again, that is easy to spell with 2 L's because, again, we're bad at spelling.
Can't spell.
Yeah.
I am Rachel, and I play Valala Valkyrie, or Vala. And I also want to give a shout out to our merch, because that's the thing that I do. Poorly, but it's okay. We have stickers and jackets and cups and anything you can want. You just need to tell me you want it, and you can get logos and cool pictures on our merch stuff.
And stickers.
And stickers are my favorite. They're my favorite because they're super cute, and I made like 6 of them.
And I'm Will, and I play over Elton Denthere. Andrew, back up to you.
Shout out to our friends over at Rep RPG. They've been a huge support to our stream. They let me come and play games with them all the time. It's fantastic. They stream pretty much every day that we don't. They have currently a horror game going on Tuesdays. Their normal Monday night Disasters and Dangers 5th edition D&D game. They do a bunch of really cool stuff. Absolutely check them out. They've shown us a lot of love. I like trying to return that as best I can. What else? I feel like I'm missing something. No, I think we're good. Yeah.
Or better yet,
Like this
follow
so we can get a
Twitch.
script.
Yeah, that's this will all go so much quicker. We can make David do some ridiculous ad reads and stuff for us at some point. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, I guess when we last left off, you all had departed from the settlement of Aldenstead, had been heading north following the path of Akron Highbolt, a relative of our own Raven, who is the last known bearer of the Shard of Change. In pursuit of him, without any real idea more than he went north, you all followed the river, taking a brief detour to make your way along an old road that you had found that led to a small, ancient, and decrepit village. Raven had snuck ahead to kind of scout out because there was some ominous presence at the church, one of the last standing buildings here. Realizing that there was something, likely a dragon, the party retreated, not being sure whether or not they had drawn notice from this creature. Very quickly found out that you had. You were pursued over the course of several nights until the dragon found you. Instead of attacking, it waited, slipping beneath the waves of the river you're currently camping next to. You ran through the night and through the next day. Some incredible rolls, allowing you to escape to throw off your trail and confound this dragon.
Thank you, List.
And the conduit of List, who helped guide you.
Yeah.
From that, which is where we last left off, to expedite wilderness travel a little bit, the next day is spent resting, recovering those levels of exhaustion now that you're in relative safety. With 7 days left, we're going to speed up a little bit. Montage the walk as you had proceeded through the forest following the river north. The forest begins to break. The next day in your journey, you break free of the forest into rolling grasslands and foothills. The next day and the day after that, you begin seeing other signs of a previous civilization. The one that had been cast out by the father and his Fey followers, or Fey children, as it were. The next few days go by without serious incidents. Some roaming animals, no significant threat such as that of the dragon that you had escaped. The morning of the last day of your travel, this would have been the 14th day of traveling. The weather is crisp fall as you get deeper into the month. But this morning, the sky is clear, bright. You all awake. The campfire having diminished down to embers. Likely Kaya having taken the last watch, napping beside it, having grown complacent again in the last week of peace.
Seeing Kaya sleeping there instead of on watch, I'm gonna walk over to him and pull open his shirt to see his tattoo, hoping it scares him a little. So I'm just gonna like grab and open your shirt.
I mean, he's gonna jump up a little bit. Can I help you?
I was reminded last night of your tattoo, and I would like to read it again. Also, it would be preferable if you would stay awake for watch. We're not out of the woods yet.
Well, I mean, we actually are out of the woods. That was a couple days ago.
Just because we're in a grassland does not mean that we are safe. In fact, it probably means that we are less safe.
Didn't you already read his tattoo? Any particular reason you're poking around with it?
Kaya, do you want to tell them why?
No.
Tell them why.
She had a dream that there was something standing over the top of me, messing with my tattoo, and now she's upset about it.
It was no dream. It was no dream. It was during my watch. I was very well awake. He's also seen it before, and every time it's been seen, the numbers on his tattoo have changed. It's like a countdown.
I'm going to interject really quick. Vala, if you'd like to make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Kaya, you make a deception check. Raven and Orelton can make insight checks.
Which is funny. I rolled a natural 1 and still got higher than you.
I got a 22, nat 20.
I got a 10 off of a nat 1.
I got an 18.
It is very clear, I think, to everybody involved, the same level of knowledge that at this table is that Kaya is full of it. He's 100% trying to deflect.
You're talking about like the wolf we saw that one time. Bright blue eyes, real big, real angry.
I would assume that may be part of it, but what I've seen is a 20-foot tall goat man. Not a satyr, but a goat-faced man.
A reverse satyr.
Yes. But I believe he still had hands, not hooves.
If
we-
not unnaturally elongated hands and fingers cloaked in shadow. Relton,
Do
you
we
can
have
make
any
a
experience with
religion
something like
check.
that?
You can
Sweet.
absolutely make a religion check, and you're going to make it with advantage due to the nature of the creature you're rolling about.
Like that idea. Do 15 and 4 is a 19.
Okay, finally.
There is a tugging, a familiarity to what they're speaking of. Not from you, but in the back of your mind, that place that List rests. But it's like when you forget a word and it's on the tip of your tongue, you've said it 1,000 times.
Oh yeah,
You're just going,
face of a goat, real tall, stretchy looking.
Yes. Long fingers, cloaked in shadows.
Yeah, no, can't remember. Sounds hella familiar though.
That's what I was thinking. Something in my religion classes. I don't remember.
I will say on a 19, Orelton, when he says God, you know, not a god. List would know the other gods, but maybe a servant of one?
Yeah, like not quite as powerful, but you're right. I know I'm gonna remember it tonight. Mid dream, I'm gonna wake up. I know it. But no, I got nothing right now.
Just keep
Strange.
it in your thoughts, and maybe we can figure something out.
Strange that its name escapes you, and from what we understand, Kaya's not able to speak of it.
Not able to speak of something, yeah.
And as I try and read the tattoo again, has it changed?
You're muted, but that was a
I
no.
muted. No, it is the same as on day 6 of your travels when it had dropped. The number had changed.
And what were we on now, number wise?
You are on day 14. That's the horizon is broken by mountains that you know make up what has been referred to as the barrier.
I meant on the tattoo. What did we have?
So let's have this.
16? 9? Where were we?
I thought it was like 13.
Was 13.
13. What's it counting, Gaia?
I didn't even know it was counting.
Have you used any magic since that night I saw it?
I use magic all the time. There's not a day that goes by I don't use magic.
Wondering if there was maybe there's I don't know.
Maybe we just
I don't know either.
check it every morning. I don't want you to.
Right.
I'm just looking out for you. I don't want you to fall over dead at any point.
I
not
appreciate the sentiment, but I mean, I feel like there's other things that we could focus on as well.
But
Not
a
necessarily
moment,
Elders.
me.
1 minute of me checking it in the morning is not going to slow us down.
And with all due respect, I'm looking out for me, not you. If you hit 0 and blow up, I don't want to be here.
Can't blame you there. All right. I'll agree.
And if you think of something, it could be counting. Spell uses lives?
I don't have the faintest idea.
All right, well, I guess I'll think about goat people. You think about what it could be counting down, and we'll hope none of us die when it hits 0.
Yeah, if my brother has anything to say about it, I'll be dead before it hits 0.
Then we won't have anything to worry about then.
True.
Well, Raven, how far do you think we are from the mountains right now?
I don't, do I have an idea? I guess we've never traveled this far, so
Yeah, based on like seeing them, you're about a day out. It's one of those like it's going to be a long day of walking, but and where you're in hills, the base is out of your current sight line. But yeah, you're about a day's journey away. You should reach the mountains by nightfall.
probably a good day's trek. Should be able to be there by nightfall.
Maybe we've talked about this, but it's been a couple days. Do we know what the hell we're doing when we get to the barrier? That's a whole wide world to find one lonely little elf.
Just ask people if we can, if we find a friendly type of group.
Wing it. Got it.
If we can find any animals that are, well, let's say more intelligent than, say, a squirrel. Maybe something like a rat. Rats are fairly intelligent. I may be able to ask them if they've seen anything. I'd imagine humanoid creatures are not very common in these parts.
Should ask the damn dragon.
It's not an animal.
I'm kidding.
Well, we should probably
All right.
finish up and head out.
Yeah, I know something's sitting here at the moment.
Okay. You
As we're finishing up, I just want to cast one more time. Where is it? The thing that I do.
You do a couple
Where'd it
things.
go? I know.
One
The
or two.
favorite enemy, see if there's any, or sorry, natural, where is it? Primeval
The thing.
awareness, that's what it is.
and it's
Aberrations, celestials,
elementals,
dragons.
aberrations.
Yeah, fays, fiends, undead, within 1 mile.
You've done this every day, and there have been a number of times that different things have kind of come up, but nothing encountering you. This morning, nothing.
Nothing at
No
all.
dragon?
Nothing at all. No dragon.
Interesting.
Dragonborn don't count for that, just so you know.
Yeah, I've learned that now. I'm not sensing anything that I've been sensing the last few days. As far as enemies in the area, there's nothing.
Good.
I assume that means we've lost our tail.
Yeah, I lost him a few days ago.
Well, we're definitely outside of the Fey region now.
Hey, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. Keep your eyes and ears up. Onward.
You all proceed through. No required check. If I recall correctly, the father just said follow the forest or follow the river. It will lead you beyond his domain. Continuing to follow the river as it winds through these hills. You surprisingly quiet. There's no birds, no animals of any kind. Just the four of you walking, conversing amongst yourselves. The day goes by without incident. The mountains are becoming closer.
Does it feel like dead, or does it just feel like devoid of creatures?
Just devoid. There's just nothing. About halfway through the day, with the mountains coming closer and closer, you realize the horizon line you were there's a weird break with the blue sky and a line between the mountains of just gray, just the exact same direction you're going. Just a break in the horizon line. As you get closer, you realize stretching from peak to peak in what is becoming apparently the only pass in these tremendous mountains that kind of span across the horizon. It's a wall, a literal stone wall, standing hundreds of feet tall.
Well, we might be able to ask a few more people than we thought. I'm going to assume that means some sort of populace in the area.
Well, I mean, we were following a road earlier.
Yeah, that just looked, a lot more run
Oh.
down.
This
Is standing?
exactly.
How far out are we from it?
You still are about half a day away. Like, this is
can
as you
still
hit
see
like
it.
noon.
I mean, walls need maintenance, right?
Or at least to be built, yeah.
Walls also are used to keep things out or keep things in.
The question is which side are we on? Can't really answer that from here, though, can we?
It's
Much as I would like to.
like, let's get closer.
Proceed a ways. The closer you get to this wall, the more apparent just the tremendous size of it. Reaching into late afternoon, maybe 2 or 3 more hours of daylight left. You come to the outskirts of, again, and more decrepit buildings falling apart. As you kind of come over a hill past what looks like it was an old farmhouse, a sprawling city that lies silent in front of you. And you still, like, several hours of walking through the city. This was once tremendous.
Relton, in those notes you got from Ladrilai's office, did any letter from... Did anything say, like, have anything to do with, like, mention any of this? Did you recall any of that?
Just shard shit, I think. I'll rustle them out and flip through them real quick, and it's all about the shard, right?
It's all about the shard, its potential effects, and what it can do.
Yeah, no landscape, doesn't even say anything about this area. It's just shit about the shards.
Does it say, so could it have created this wall?
Great question.
Got the notes.
Hold on. It's got to be in here.
Oh, just let me read them. You're so slow.
No. I get it.
Hey, excuse me. This is me trying to find the notes.
Oh, well, we're covering for you.
You guys are role playing, going through notes. I'm like, I open up the tome.
Yeah.
In my research, I found that the artifact of change, while being a catalyst of change, also seems to have historically bestowed users of the staff tremendous influence upon those around them, as well as the capability to more directly impart change on those subjected to the user's will and the power of the shard. It is unclear at this point the exact ramifications and what that could actually mean, but in the wrong hands, it seems that this shard could be used to sway entire civilizations, bringing bringing upon them a golden age or a terrible downfall.
So yeah, sounds more
People compeller.
influency. Yeah, exactly. It was a politician's wet dream, not so much a city builder. My guess.
So, okay, as we approach the city, how decrepit is it? Are we talking about like 2 or 3 stone layers stacked at the base of where the house once was, or like some
The
houses only partially collapsed in?
the outskirts, what you would assume would be like farmhouses and like agricultural areas, more rural, were very decrepit, old, fully collapsed. Like maybe you get one standing wall. As you get into the city, there are a few buildings that are broken, crumbles. Think like Fallout, the Fallout games, that when you go into an old city and like they're just kind of, some of them just broken and blasted, falling apart. But you can see farther in, the buildings seem maintained, like fully standing, just quiet.
Are there any animals around?
Go ahead and make a survival check, tracking any animals or signs of them.
16?
No sign of any animals, even rats.
Oh, don't see any wildlife around here either.
No, but it looks like somebody's still using the area. Be my guess. Follow-up question. We gonna go in quiet, or should we just go in hands up instead of guns blazing?
I think caution is always the better option.
So, send in Raven.
Just sending me ahead, or do you all want to come with?
I'm not gonna be any help on the stealth variety, and I'll beat my chest plate twice.
Okay, I can go in a ways. Just try to follow my path.
And then before Raven leaves, I'm gonna grab his hand and say thank you, and cast guidance.
And as I step away, I'm gonna just look to Aurel and in Draconic, say, keep her safe, and keep walking.
Aurel just kind of looks confused for a second, like looks at Vol and looks at him.
It's funny because never mind.
Yeah, Raven doesn't know.
True.
Okay.
Paula's gonna try and hide any emotional reaction to that statement.
Make a deception check. Raven, if you can make a stealth check for me.
I'll be trying to figure out
Why
what's
did I
going
do
on.
that? I'm gonna reroll. I just rolled with advantage for some stupid reason, so gonna reroll.
Okay.
16.
Vala is bright
And you
red.
get a plus 1d4 to your thing. Oh yes,
17.
Paula is very bright red.
17. Okay.
Relton got a
Proceed.
9 on the insight check to figure out what the fuck just happened there. So got a big goofy grin on his
Paula's
face.
blushing. And... what?
Kai is just completely in the dark.
So you all proceed kind of into the city a short ways, finding cover. You find kind of a small building that Raven kind of is able to suss out. It's empty. There do not seem to be any threats. Raven, you sneak further into the city itself. Make a perception check.
That would be a 25.
5. You are quietly moving down what seems to be a main road, something kind of continuing in the general direction of the wall itself. You don't see anything, but you begin to hear rhythmic, like creaking, like metal on metal, like an old door hinge, and you hear it a few different times. You also notice in the base of some of the buildings there's small. They look like little doors, metal into the stone that stand about 2 feet tall, that are like flush with the stone. But you don't see what's making the noise. If you go to the doors and try to open them, they are like sealed. Like you can tell they're a different material, which is why you're able to see them, but they are perfectly flush with the stone. It is clearly dwarven craftsmanship. It's the only people who you think could work so precisely with stones and metal.
Are we following at a distance, or do we find somewhere to sit down?
You have a place to sit down, so you're able to find one, but you can follow. That's up to you guys.
And
I think I'm going to defer.
the creaking, does it seem, you kind of said like rhythmic, does it seem like random and sporadic, or does it seem like consistent?
A little. With rhythmic, I mean when you do hear it, it is several like squeaky hinges in succession. You hear like light tapping, like echoing kind of down these empty streets, and then it will stop, and then you'll hear it again later on, like from a different direction, something else.
And do any of like the doorways or anything like that have any sort of carvings or maybe language on them or anything like that?
No, there are some wooden doors that are like partially decayed, but still seem like they're they not as much as like time would have let them to be without something actually actively taking care of them. Some the stone doorways that still stand are pretty unadorned. You get the occasional carving of like a name, like a family name, somebody thinking that the house may have been marked.
Um, looking around, do I see like what may appear to be like a city hall type building, like a bigger building than the rest, more towards the centralized location, or?
Yeah, towards the center, there are several larger buildings, and then a ways away, you see the top of what looks like a single tall tower.
Okay.
And what you would guess is the center of the city, but back towards the wall, like center north, east to west, but farther north.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of keep moving forward and kind of see if I can notice a pattern with how many of those buildings have those metal doors. If it seems like every third or fifth building, or if it seems random, and just see if I can find any sort of.
Once you start looking
pattern.
at it, that's at every cross street. One of the buildings has one of these little doors. Like every intersection you pass, you are able to find one or two of the little doors.
Okay. And about how far am I from everybody else at this point, would you say?
How far were the rest of you following?
Probably a ways back. I would say give it like 200 feet.
Okay.
What do I got here? I'm gonna go ahead and try to hide myself behind a wall somewhere and see like the next furthest up door that's maybe 100 feet away.
Okay.
And shoot it with an arrow.
You shooting at the little door with an arrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Just to see if anything makes any more sound.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
Not great, but let's see. It's plus 9, so 15.
15. You fire. Ting. Arrow strikes the door and falls to the ground. Nothing happens. And about 30 seconds later, as you see the door opens up, and a small mechanical, it's like a four-legged spider, crab would be more appropriate, comes out of the door, picks up the arrow. You see it turns, and a smaller arm comes out and like dusts the spot where the arrow was. It turns and it brushes off its door. The same hinging, creaking, tapping noise as it walks. From 30 feet away, you can see it has spots of rust and grime on it, and it moves towards. You see a small flash of electricity, and the door opens up like a slot. The little creature walks inside, and the door closes behind it.
Did he take the arrow with him?
Yep, took the arrow with him.
All right.
With that knowledge that there is definitely something in this area, I'm going to head back to the group. Just following my path, because I told them that they would need to follow my path and find them.
How well do we follow the path?
You were walking down like just one main street. And so any offshoots or anything you took would have been kind of brief, just as like the street came to a natural end and there was another kind of main looking street as it turned. It's pretty easy to follow the path. Everything seems laid out really mathematically. The entire city seems very geometric.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll make it back. And have you guys noticed these doors? And I'll just point out a couple to them.
Oh, the little ones. No, I hadn't seen those. I had only seen the big ones.
There's
Paul is gonna walk over and try and open one.
Whoa. Hang on. There's little like mechanical crab things inside. I shot one with shot a door with my arrow, and it came out, took the arrow and went back in. These doors just slid open.
They're like maintenance crabs.
Yeah, it looks like something. I've never seen these before.
Like mechanical, how do they move? What's powering them?
I would only assume magic, but I
Kind of explains the whole well-maintained city bit.
I go through and I look through my bag for a second, maybe something like this, and I pull out the arcane battery that we have.
Very
Maybe just
well,
a better
could be
version.
Something, yes.
I don't know. I'm not seeing anybody any people up there, but there's a city center that we could maybe get to, but I don't know how you guys want to handle moving forward. I can help with the stealth a little bit.
Well, hold on. I want to see this thing. And I'll go up and stand next to a building and knock on one of the little doors and see if I can get the little dude to come out.
You knock on the door and wait. Keep waiting.
You sure? I mean, seems pretty devoid of mechno crabs. I'll knock on another one. Find another one to knock on it.
There's one at the intersection just kind of across the street. You go and knock on that one. Nothing?
Let me...
Well, if if your maintenance idea is correct, maybe we should dirty something. And I'm gonna pull out of like some old plant material out of one of my little pouches and toss it on the ground.
A few moments go by. The door opens up with a hissing noise as it slides into the stone, and oh, mechanical crab thing, 4 legs in its hands, walks out. And you see one of the claws flips around, and there's a little brush on it. The other hand flips around, a little dust pail, and it scoops the dirt into it. Stands. You see, with it being closer, see there is several coils of wire. This one also quite rusty. From its head, there's like almost an antenna that pokes straight out and has a fork at the end of it. It goes out and sweeps up the dust or the dirt and plant matter, and it turns without acknowledging you, going back up to the door. It taps that prong against the door. You see that spark of electricity. The door hisses open, and it walks in. You guys see it goes in about 2 feet before the door closes.
I'll be damned.
Lore clarification.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of
Rubit?
mechatronic, electricity, anything like that on the main continent? Nothing at all?
You all would have some relative familiarity with like golems, like iron golems and things like that. Clockwork is a thing back on the main continent, things like that, but nothing so intricate and seemingly trivial.
Nothing
a
powered
complex-
by lightning.
Yeah, nothing powered
Right.
by lightning.
Okay.
Yeah. It's something you've seen in like magical attacks, but not
Did
this.
it just use lightning to attack that door? To open it?
I mean, seen shit use steam to move stuff, so why not electricity? Excuse me, lightning.
Well, they seem fairly harmless then. They didn't pay any mind to us. Do we continue? I'm not seeing anything. It might be okay for everybody to come along.
Yeah, I think that kind of explains what we're looking at up there. City's in good condition. These little guys are to blame.
Maybe
Let's
we can
boogie.
find some answers up at the city center. Maybe an old library or something.
Can we see the
Sure.
tower from here?
You can, yeah. It stands probably a good third again as tall as the next tallest building, which is still like a 4 or 5 story building.
Important things tend to be hidden in tall places.
Is that true?
I mean, I'd believe her. She's royalty.
Yeah, well, that means whatever she says is right, I guess. And Harl just starts walking.
Some complex about being the most important visible thing that you don't understand.
I guess we'll just make our way to the city center.
Is the tower the destination you have in mind currently?
I think so, yeah. That's all I could figure is what could potentially be the center, an important building.
Okay. Making my way. Towards the tower. Again, and seeing this, you realize that even the broken buildings, like standing walls, didn't have rubble around them. It was the most intact pieces were seemingly left alone, but there were no pieces of rock and debris around it. And it kind of starts to click why that might have been. It didn't really strike you at the time. You proceed into the city until you reach the base of the tower. You see another couple of the rubits. You'll see, like, there'll be something that like blows in on the wind, or from the top of a building, like a piece of rock will fall, land on the ground, and you'll see another one come out, gather up whatever trash was placed into the street, and quickly disappear with it. You make your way to the tower, and it is a large cylindrical tower. It does have a large stone door. There is some writing. Do any of you speak Dwarven?
I do.
No, speak Dwarven.
My helm does.
On the door, inscribed in Dwarven, it reads, "Authorized personnel only. Hazardous materials inside."
I'm not sure we want to go in there.
Why?
Says there's, well, on the door. It says authorized personnel only. There's hazardous material.
Wonder what? Couldn't be that hazardous, right? I'll try the doorknob.
One other thing that I will point out, just because you're following, the river had kind of cut into a canal in the city, and you had kind of lost it following the main streets. It probably went into some sort of underground waterway system. The canal opens back up, and you see it leading into this building, kind of just off to the side. The door, you go up and push on it, and it pushes open. It opens into a dark room. The only light that coming from the outside, from behind you. There's a small desk. Seems to be carved in stone. No chair or anything behind it. No paper or anything on top of it. And then 2 other doors behind the desk. As the doors open, they were sealed quite tightly. You kind of hear a rhythmic boom, 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 boom. Some large mechanical, just rhythmic. It almost sounds almost like a heartbeat.
And you said the river ran into this building, right?
Yes.
Well, we were told to follow the river. Here we are.
Do we go in?
I'll go in.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we're going. I'll follow Relton.
Okay.
And the room is completely devoid except for the desk and the 2 doors, right?
There's a desk and 2 doors. That's you think that if the chair had been wood, it probably would have decayed and have been cleaned up. Any notes or papers over the years would have also been tidied.
Are there any drawers on this desk?
No, it's just a plain, unadorned desk.
I'm going to try the door on our left.
Okay.
Utterly at random.
It again swings open. Both doors seem to open into one large room. You see a series of pipes that you can hear water moving through. And at the end of the room, one of the pipes leads to it. There is a small glass window, and you can see water circulating and boiling. A pipe leading from the top of this massive vat.
What do you
Talk
think that's
about
doing?
making things run with, making something run with steam is what I'd imagine.
Do you think those, I mean, water and steam mixed with lightning don't combine well? I can't imagine those crab things would have been run by this. And it's still working.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, and
Not really.
sorry, to either side of the vat, there's 2 more doors that seem to lead further in, and then there are 2 doors on each side of this room as well.
Is there any more writing on any of these doors?
One of them reads maintenance. Actually, 2 of the doors read maintenance, and then the other 2 have dwarven names inscribed on them.
Okay, well, these 2 here say maintenance. These 2 are just names.
Offices then? Probably.
I'm gonna go into one of the named rooms.
The door pushes open. It is a small office. There is like carved into the wall behind the desk. There's a shelf, devoid of any papers or notes. There's no chair. Another simple stone desk. The only thing remaining on the desk itself is a little nameplate set in the front of it.
Probably matches the name on the door.
Mhm.
Okay. And is the other room the same?
Yes. The name on the first door is Ropin. The name on the second door is Bear Time.
Oh,
I don't think we're gonna get too much of just snooping around here. Not many notes to be had, not much to divulge.
Maybe just see what's in here, go through the maintenance area. Or we could leave.
Yeah. Try not to get our fingers caught in any machinery. I will push open a maintenance door.
Push up a maintenance door. This one leads. There are another series of like pipes that run into the floor. These ones with various valves and controls. Nothing in it. The other maintenance room is like a maintenance closet. There's tools and things like that are kind of left like hanging on a big tool rack. There's wrenches and a couple like bolt cutters, just tools you would see. The remaining 2 doors, the ones at the far end of the room, do either of you go further into the building?
Yeah, if there's nothing in those maintenance rooms.
Okay. Push through this one. You see there's a series of pipes, one leading kind of back into the wall that the vat of water was setting behind. 2 large ones coming off kind of the ground, branching out, and lead to a large pool of water. Suspended from the ceiling down into the pool. There is like glass that encircles the tank. You see like strange stones that are cut into rods that are suspended and in this pool of water. And you see water move. That's the engineer, I think, just got what happened. You see water circulating and kind of being pushed up into one pipe through circulation, apparently back the direction you came. There's no other doors.
We haven't seen like a set of stairs anywhere.
No, make a perception check. Anybody that would like to.
Yeah.
That would be a 24.
24. Anybody
Yes.
that gets higher than a 20 on this. You notice as you kind of move into the room, there are 2 large very similar. This one's cut much more similar in color to the wall, which is why it's hard to see. They're almost hidden. The steel sliding doors that you had seen, but these ones each are about 8 feet tall.
Big doors there.
Much taller than dwarf doors.
I don't
What
have
do you
any
think they did in here?
Sorry.
What do you think they did in here? It seems weird that they'd be washing stone rods like that.
Yeah, it looks like the water's flowing certain directions.
I don't know, man.
Just
It's
a big.
like
Good.
it's like the rods are moving the water, being moved by the water for something.
There is a faint green glow coming off of the stone rods.
Bling!
Well, this is
You all are
real
welcome
neat.
to fuck with this room as much as you'd like.
Guys.
Yeah. This is all real neat and all, but we're following the river, right? Like, I don't see Akron in here. I don't see a shard of change in here. I'll just like bang twice on the side of the tank.
Give me just a few moments.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, Dad.
2 doors on each side open up, falling out of one of them, and just parts, rusted, broken. This one looks humanoid. Collapses to the ground in a heap. Another one strides out. You see, like, on the forearm, which is open, you can see a variety of tools that it starts kind of like switching through. It starts with like tongs and flips, and there's a hammer, and then you see a small burst of blue flame coming from the end of it, and it walks out. It goes over towards where O'Relton is, sticks out an arm, and just kind of slowly pushes you away from the glass.
Hey.
I mean,
And then it turns, and you watch like the eyes like shift and as like lenses, like camera lenses for you guys, kind of shift as it inspects the spot. You see the hand like flip, and what looks like a rag, like an old, it wipes the spot, and then it just kind of turns back to face
As it's about to leave, I'm
O'Relton.
gonna touch it.
It's not leaving. It's just kind of standing there, like it has
Oh.
turned, like just is looking at you guys.
Yeah, again, this
Hello?
is real neat, but what are we doing here?
Let's go. I think this is just water.
just give me 10 minutes, and I'm gonna cast detect poison and disease.
Yeah, we're gonna say that you are overwhelmed with the sense of poison that you feel. This is the closest thing I can think. There's a tremendous source of poison within the glass.
Yes, we need to leave. We need to leave now. That is a disease bomb.
Disease bomb?
It is. I mean, it is all. I've never felt poison this strong before.
Okay, well that's enough for me.
Let's go.
Well, that's what I wanted in the first place. Let's go.
You guys turn and leave the, if anyone hasn't caught on yet, the nuclear
Jesus.
reactor.
Yeah.
Jesus, like what the?
As soon as we were walking in and you said the water flowing through the pipes, I'm like, are we in a nuclear reactor?
You walk out. You circle around the building for a while and find the channel, the water channel that kind of led to the building, coming out the other side. and continuing on towards the wall.
Are we done here? We want to head back, or I mean, this is
Follow the river. That's what we were told.
Continuing through the city, make it, and you come to, as the sun kind of is finally beginning to set, you make it to the base of this tremendous wall. There are no buildings at the base of the wall. There is a large clearing, a door cut into the stone. An inscription above it reads, "This path cuts through the stone in case our lost find their way home. Be wary of the traps inside, there to stem the darkwood tide."
I'll go through and relay all of that.
Does the Darkwood Tide sound familiar?
Yeah.
Sounds like the Fae.
You think this is keeping the Fae out?
Well, no,
I mean, there
there's
was a war.
bunch of Fae behind us.
But are we
Right,
out?
But keeping the Fae out from
The other side
In
of
That
there.
side.
Yes.
So keeping the Fae in for us.
depends on what your definition
Maybe.
of in is.
Well, where we are is in for me. I see what you're saying.
No, we definitely gotta
What
keep
did the
an eye out for
inscription say
traps.
again? Yeah. It said
What did
It
it
said,
This path cuts. This path cuts through the stone in case our lost find their way home. Be wary of the traps inside, there to stem the darkwood tide.
Yeah, I think you're right, Raven.
If
One
it's
way or
meant-
another.
If it's meant to keep the Fae out, I feel like these traps might have something to do with magic. It might be something that we want to test as soon as we get in there to see if anything will be set off by magic.
Maybe. But it could just be regular traps.
It could. Let's check for any kind of traps on the door.
Okay.
I'll
Uh,
walk up and check
I'll
for
say
traps.
you're welcome to open up Owlbear Rodeo at this point for our map.
Woohoo!
Haven't used a map in a while. Make a investigation or perception check to search for traps.
And I'm gonna cast guidance again as he walks up to check for traps.
Investigation or what?
Or perception. There is a kind of a relief carved into this door as well. It is two warriors, one standing significantly taller than the other. Apparently an elf, clad in armor, standing with his hands resting on a sword placed onto the ground. On the left-hand side of the door is a dwarven warrior standing, clasping a warhammer in a very similar stance, standing side by side, apparently guarding.
Okay. I rolled for perception was a 24.
24. The door itself does not seem to be trapped.
Okay. I guess I'll look around and just see if there's any sort of like holes or anything else that might look like a trap outside of the door. Maybe check the statues themselves. Nothing.
I'll say with a 24, nothing seems to jump out immediately as a trap.
Okay. Looks good. And I'll try to open the door.
Sticks for a moment and then pushes open. A stone hallway appearing before you. It goes about 25 feet in, hitting a wall, and then branching off to two different sides. If you each want to drop a mini on the map.
Do-do-do. Here I am. Ooh, I need to scroll in.
Yes. I'm gonna open
Sorry, I'm going to be on this side by Raven.
There we go.
Yeah.
You hear
Beyond
down the hallway. You hear water rushing up ahead to the left. And you from the outside, kind of looking over, and yes, a nice lo-fi dungeon exploration.
I was gonna say this is gonna be a hell of a
What kind
party,
of
y'all.
what kind of a lounge is this?
Yeah.
Pull my map back up. You hear water rushing to the side, and like a mechanical, not nearly as rhythmic or like repeating as the walking, but you hear metal shifting and moving, coming from like the right hand side.
I'll step in.
Before we go in,
oh, go ahead.
I guess before I go in, Raven could go in. Can I just like look up and see how like vastly huge this wall is? Are we talking like 50 feet, or are we talking a couple thousand feet?
We're talking a couple, like it spans from the mountaintop to the next mountaintop.
Okay, so this is fucking enormous.
This is tremendous. And you were standing, it has that optical illusion where you're standing at the base of it and it feels like it's curving over you.
Leans on top of you.
Like, yeah.
And how tall were those
You
statues?
actually see the statues were, one of them was standing about 4 feet and one of them was standing about 6 feet. They were small, they were humanoid sized statues just standing on each side of the door.
Relton will probably be the last one in, just like staring up, and like a little bit of drool comes out of his mouth for the amount of time that he's like staring up at this wall.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm assuming it's dark in here.
Yes, it is quite dark. Make a perception check for me, though. Anybody in the entryway?
Perception.
17.
19.
11. Can't see.
25.
Who got us? So Raven, you of course, and whoever Will, was it you that got us 17? Relton?
17 for me. Yeah.
Okay. You two notice there is a small lever on the inside of the doorway up against the wall.
I got a 19.
Oh, sorry, Guy, you as well. You see this? There's a volley immediately over to, like the dim light, like just trying to peering into the darkness. You all can see there's a small lever on the wall.
Probably not a trap, right? I'll like reach my hand towards it, looking for Raven's approval.
I mean, it seems like it is there for helping. I don't know. I don't know if it's the door lever or lock or.
Find
you
out.
Want me to check
Click.
it? Oh. He's making
Whatever
sounds on
noises
noises
hallway.
you're making. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say whatever noises you're making weren't coming through.
Yeah, lights clicking on as the hallway still not super bright. Some of them you see kind of flicker. The glass breaks in one of them, but the hallway is somewhat lit. There's these small stars on the ceiling burst into light.
What is this place?
Pretty neat, whatever it is.
I was afraid when you went to pull that lever, but I'm glad I can see now.
The floor drops out from under all. I'm just kidding. That's,
TPK.
Wouldn't be the first time.
True.
I just want to peek around the hallway to the right. Is that the end of the hallway where we can see right now, or can we see further now?
kind of peeking through, you see as it extends off now that it's lit.
Well, right or left?
And they're a thing that you're always supposed to go to the left in mazes.
Maze. I've heard the same.
All right, follow you. Unless you want me to
You're
leave.
you're the Mr. Traps, dude.
Okay.
I'll find him with my face, but that's the best I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna be
Oh.
looking for traps as well.
Yeah, I'll just
Okay.
move forward and looking for traps.
Let's see. Passive perceptions. 20,
I am
fucking 3,
also
alright.
going to have Mage Hand out and ready, which no one can see.
Okay.
Invisible.
Perfect. I will say, sorry, hiccuping. With a 23 passive perception, the mechanical noises and everything, you make out muffled voices coming from the right-hand side.
Do you hear that? I'm gonna whisper to Raven.
No, I
Shh, listen. And I'm gonna whisper, like, put my finger up and tell everybody to be quiet.
I'll just listen really
Do you-
intently.
Do you hear the voices?
Once it's pointed out that there's like a clang, and you almost hear like you don't recognize the language, but the tone is that of like somebody that stubbed their toe or something. Like you hear a kind of a sharp curse.
Playing a game of whack fuck.
Whack.
Whack fuck.
Yeah, there's like a loud kind of, as you're listening, you hear dung dung.
I think that's coming from the other direction.
Well, we are looking for people. Do we go that way or?
Are we, though?
I mean, if Akron came north, he had to come through here. Literally, he had to come through here.
Can we sneak up and see if we can see anybody in that direction?
We can.
Sure, give me stealth checks.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace on everybody.
Yay!
So-
What does that do?
You get a plus
Plus
10.
10 yourself.
Plus 10. Okay, good. I'm gonna need it.
Same.
So roll
Ooh.
the stealthy stealths.
Natural 20
Dang! You disappear.
for a total of 21, so 31.
27.
Damn.
24. Oh,
Eight.
25. 25.
I don't even
8
have to roll
with
that.
a plus 10.
advantage.
Oh, so 18 with the plus 10.
18. Okay. Let's see.
8 with the plus 10.
Yep. I rolled a -2, y'all.
Who is leading the stealthy?
I would assume I would be.
Okay.
I'm gonna be right behind.
Okay, we're gonna say you make it right up to here, peeking around a corner. Paula.
By the way, how long does that D4 last? Is it gone now?
It
Less than a minute?
lasts for. Oh yeah, for 1 minute. So
Okay, it's gone now.
Oh no, you cast it
will-
as you were walking in the door, so I'd say it's still up for another
Oh,
3
okay.
rounds or so.
Oh, okay.
Raven kind of peering around, you see standing at about 8 feet tall, large horns, bovine horns curling off of his skull, standing over 2 gray-skinned dwarven-looking figures that are currently going through a pile of scrap metal. He has his arms folded, an axe kind of resting against his side as he watches these 2, who you also notice are wearing collars, thick metal collars and strung together with a length of chain. They're unaware of your presence.
I'm gonna immediately, like, after I see that, lean back and turn to the group and there's 3 people in there. there's a dwarf, or 2 dwarfs, and some massive dude. Looks like that he might have them as slaves.
So, do we fix these dwarves' problem, or
Let's retreat and talk.
I'll move back?
And yeah, you retreat.
Okay. Move back kind of towards the entryway.
Mm-hmm.
So the dwarves looked like normal dwarves, right?
They with gray skin, white
skin.
hair.
And I'm sorry, could you describe the big guy again for me?
He is a minotaur.
Okay, that's easy enough.
That's the easiest way to describe it. As DM to player, it's a minotaur.
Yeah.
Would the gray skinned dwarves sound familiar? Is this something that is lore wise in our world normally?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
Maybe either a zombie. Zombies usually have gray skin. Or really sick normal dwarves.
Possibility of slaves.
Slaves,
So-
maybe prisoners?
I mean, yeah, they're captives, obviously.
Yes. But we don't know why. We don't know if they're deserving of their captivity or not.
Don't really care. If we can do one for them, they can do one for us. Or we can kill them too. One way or the other.
I don't see why we need to kill any of them.
Well, they're slaves. We want information, right? If we free said slaves, perhaps they give us information. No?
Could we try talking with the guard first?
I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
Where did Kaya go?
On his
Okay.
bullshit
I'm gonna
again.
Walk.
Yeah.
I'm walking
Fucked off
back.
somewhere.
It's probably
Not saying a
napping.
word.
Okay.
And I'm going to peek around the corner. Get a look at this. So, how far is Pass Without a Trace? What's the
30
range on
feet.
that?
30
Okay,
feet from me.
so I'm
You
just
are
in range.
you're on the edge of the range for that.
Just peeking
You're on
around
the
the corner.
edge.
And I'm going to get a look, get a read, and I'm going to point at the Minotaur.
Okay.
I have no idea if this thing speaks common or not. And I'm going to cast message.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, what is it you expect to find?
You can reply to
Uh,
this message.
You watch the figure tense, pick up his axe, and start looking around. You hear a response. Some shit. Yeah, it's
I figured as much.
unless you speak Abyssal.
Yeah.
You then hear aloud. He says something to the 2 prisoners, also in Abyssal, and turns and begins to walk down this hallway.
What about the prisoners?
The 2 prisoners make an insight check.
Imagine they're there to delay us. 5. Yep, 5.
They seem to just still be going through. What you see are scraps of cogs and metal bars and things like that, and they're in two smaller piles, one where they look destroyed, one that seems a little bit more intact. They're going through a larger pile that's been gathered. It looks like they're still just going through the metal.
Okay. I'm gonna take my chances, and one last time I'm going to point towards the group. Specifically O'Relton, for whatever reason. No reason. Say, I'm gonna go check out what's going on ahead.
Shouldn't Raven be doing that?
Shouldn't Raven be doing what?
Oh.
Ah.
Bauer. Says he's going to go look at what's going on ahead.
Without.
If we hear a ruckus, I guess we go bail his ass out.
Same as last time.
Same as last time. We know the routine.
David, I'm just double checking the rules on invisibility. When you cast a spell,
Is it when I
And-
cast a spell?
it's
It
when you
does
attack
end.
or cast a spell.
See, I thought it was an attack spell. That's fine.
So your invisibility does fade.
That's fine, because I wouldn't have been able to cast message to him to begin with if that were the case. So that's on me.
Yeah, we can roll that back. You can take the spell slot back for invisibility and just rely on your previous stealth roll.
So
like,
here's
just
the
say-
thing. It's not a
Hmm.
spell slot. It's a one-time use.
Okay, so
But invisibility is?
For me,
yeah,
it is.
okay, yeah. So that is expended. Then
Okay.
So if you can
Nope.
talk Minotaur, I feel free. Go talk to him. Yeah, you. Vala.
Minotaur. Oh. No, I don't. I don't speak whatever that bovine creature was.
I'm just gonna move up
Well-
and while they're talking, peek around the corner and just kind of keep an eye out.
okay, you see
Well-
Kai kind of standing there, peeking around, watching these.
I will reach forward with my two fingers like this and touch Vala's like where her Adam's apple would be if she had one. And just like a purple glow sinks into her throat. And I say, well, now you do. Go talk to him. And I'll cast tongues.
Okay, I'm gonna
I kind of fucked shit
head
up
over
a
there, I
little
guess.
bit.
Okay.
And hold on, I have a thing. I am going to walk around the corner, and do they react? Do they see me?
I'm just.
We're gonna roll initiative because they immediately turn and stand. Each of them pulling just a different. Like they each grabbed a piece of metal. They do have the chain strung between them. It looks like it's about 15 feet of chain. They immediately turn and are gonna rush you, but nobody here is surprised. You're all aware of each other to an extent. Everybody roll initiative.
25.
30-20.
I had a natural 20.
This is important.
No.
I use dice.
25 for Raven.
8.
15.
15. All right. Kicking this off. Raven, you see Vala like walk into the room and you hear shifting of metal and everything really quick. What do you do?
I'm just gonna kind of walk up to where Kaya's at and peek in, and I guess in that time I see them rushing.
Yeah, they're standing. They haven't like they're turning to face her, both holding makeshift weapons kind of over their shoulder.
I'm going to trust Vala and hold my action until one of them actually attacks.
Okay.
From a technical standpoint, you might need to be a block forward to actually make an attack on him. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
do that.
you would.
Okay.
Okay. Orelton.
Orelton is just gonna advance position. And I will also trust Vala, but I don't think I'm gonna hold an action. That's it.
Vala.
All right. Vala is going to cast Entangle right where the dwarves are standing. So it's a 20-foot square over them that essentially what happens is these vines suddenly grow out from underneath the ground, wrapping around the bottoms of their feet. Within that 20-foot square, these plants turn the ground in the area into difficult terrain, and they have to succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangled plants.
Okay, is a 20-foot radius square, so
Yeah.
40 feet on a side? Okay.
Oh, well, hold on. It says 20. It just says 20-foot square. So I
It'd be
assume
20
that's
foot
20
outside.
feet on each side.
So like there?
That's what I think. That's what I assume.
Okay. But that's the spot you want it to be where it catches them
Oh,
both at once, then?
over just a little bit into the pile things.
Okay, so
Just one more square over. Thank
too
you.
big. One sec.
There.
Yeah,
Right there,
there
I
you go.
got
You
it.
draw it. You draw it. Okay.
Yay! I didn't know I could draw until right now.
Are you doing anything else? And do they get a
I'm-
saving throw or anything?
A creature in this area, when you cast a spell, must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained. And the strength 16 or higher.
They both failed dramatically.
Okay.
They're
So they're-
restrained.
Vines wrapped up around, up to knee level on them right now. And the vines look like razor vines minus the razors.
Okay.
In my mind.
And that is...
And then Vala's gonna say, you will stay and we will talk. As a command, just do it.
Okay. Go ahead and make an intimidation roll for me.
Okay. Not very intimidating. That's an 8.
Okay. They are both restrained. Anything else in your turn?
Sorry. And then as my bonus action, I am going to cast Shield of Faith. Where is it?
Okay. Faith.
And it surrounds me.
As you all begin moving and working, the Minotaur rounds the corner where he had circled around.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Is going to charge at Orelton, who's the only person he can get to. He fills the room. He's 8 feet tall, but his shoulders almost floor to wall to wall. Not really. It's 10 feet. That's insane. But
It's a big
he fills the space he's in for sure. He charges at you. That was... And he as he charges at you, he lowers his head, crashes into you with his horns, and that is a 14 to hit.
Nope.
Olé!
You, as he puts his head down and charges, you catch the horns and it pushes you back a step, and then you just muscle back, pushing him just a step at a time back down the hall he just charged down. Oh wait, he gets advantage. Sorry. No, he still doesn't hit. Wait. Did recklessly charge at you. one of the Duergar, do they get to make a saving throw at the beginning of their turn, or is it an action to free them kind of thing?
Let me figure that out. A creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check. On a success, it frees itself.
Okay. Is the first one who is holding a just a metal bar. I just sneezed. Instead of trying to break free, is just going to throw the bar at you, almost like a javelin. It is at disadvantage because he is restrained. So that is still not bad. 18 to hit.
Oh, that barely hits. Everybody say hi to the cute little one.
Hey,
Because he's so cute.
Oh, hey, little guy. You take 3 points of piercing damage as the bar just crashes into your shoulder, mostly deflecting off the armor, but still leaving a mark. In response to what you said, because you understand all languages.
How many? Sorry, how many points of damage?
3. You did.
3. Okay.
No, yeah. You're hit with the bar, and if we kill you, we're free. Do Kaya.
Before Kaya's turn, can I take my reaction since I was holding until they attacked?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
you were. So go ahead. Are you attacking north or south, dwarf?
Whichever one through the bar.
That was.
It's
north,
probably
dwarf.
not going to hit because that was terrible. But an 11.
An 11 misses.
Okay.
Kaya.
So did I hear the "if we kill you, we're set free"?
Do you speak Abyssal?
No, I heard it. I just don't know what the hell they said.
Yeah, you heard something and then heard ping ping.
Okay. This changes a couple things. All right. He is going to first off, he's going to quicken Mind Sliver on the Minotaur.
Okay.
So DC 17 intellect save.
Okay. Yeah, he's real good at intellect. This is going to be dice -2 for an 11. So
For an
Mind
11.
Sliver
Okay, so he
succeeds?
fails.
yes.
So he will take 9 points of psychic damage, as well as subtract a d4 from the next saving throw it makes.
Okay.
And then I am also going to give it disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
And then for my regular action, so that was my bonus action, I'm going to... I'm not going to.
And so the two Duergar, they are at disadvantage on dexterity saving throws as well because they're restrained.
Okay. I'm actually going to change that from dex to wisdom.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Hold Person on the Minotaur. Assuming I can, if Hold Person... So is a Minotaur
Hold
a
person
humanoid?
no.
Okay.
These Minotaur.
Then
There
I
is a
wouldn't do that.
Minotaur race, but Minotaurs are monstrosities per the
Gotcha.
monster manual.
Okay. I don't know what I'm going to do then. We're going to go ahead and still leave it as wisdom for now, and I'm going to go ahead and just throw a chromatic orb at him.
Okay.
We'll do second level chromatic orb.
Second level chromatic orb. Gotcha.
And
Is it an attack? It's an attack roll?
It is an attack roll.
You have advantage on this.
Oh.
Because he recklessly attacked. So
Okay,
attacks
well,
against him
then-
have advantage.
14 anyway. 14 plus 9
Hits.
yeah, hits. Okay, and then that was second level 4d8, which I do not have ready. I am sorry. Oh my god.
I don't make you guys fight stuff very often, so it's fine.
25 points of damage. Of
25.
We'll say, whoops, I did not mean to roll that. I meant to click to see what damage types there were. I apologize.
No worries.
We'll say acid. Why not?
25 points of acid damage. It just begins to eat away at the exposed flesh. You see the skin kind of melt and the very many muscle fibers exposed underneath. Anything else for Kai's turn?
No. He's gonna stay right there.
All right, Raven, you're up.
Asia. Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna step back into this corner.
Okay.
Give myself some space. And then I'm going to volley. Actually, I'm gonna cast what is it called? Hunter's Mark on the big dude. And then I'm gonna go and shoot my bow.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume that's hitting with a 28.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's engaged with Will right now, or with Orelton, right?
He is. Yes, he is.
Okay. So, I need one more
Relton's got the bull by the horns.
E. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I gotta take a picture of this.
How many ones?
How many dice did I roll?
Yahtzee.
Yep. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 3, 7 points of damage.
Ooh, a high roller.
Into the exposed flesh.
And
anything
then,
else you're doing?
Taking a second shot.
Okay.
That's a
20.
14.
14 hits.
Okay.
Meets it, beats it.
And that would be 9 points damage.
9. All right. It is looking bloodied. Pretty significantly hurt. Oh, yeah, you hit it with both of them. Did you roll advantage on those? Just see if you crit.
Oh, no, I didn't. I guess I'll... Nope. And no.
Okay. All right, Orelton.
Orelton, with a horn in each hand and not being able to get it a weapon, will instead just take a deep breath and match Kaya's energy and just spit acid down his back.
All right.
That is a DC 14 saving throw for Dex.
Dex, which is... He does not have disadvantage on Dex, but does not...
He has to
have
take a
great-
D4, subtract a D4.
You're gonna need a Tums after this, my friend.
Yeah, so Dex 11. So he
That is
takes the full...
No, that's a failure. There's 5 so far. 8 points of damage.
Okay. It just hit the front of his shoulder melting from the chromatic orb, and now the back of his neck beginning to melt, slough off from the acid down the back of his neck. He looks significantly injured. Anything else?
I will just stand my ground to make sure he can't get it anybody else, ideally.
Okay. Oh, I missed Durgar 2. I skipped him by accident. He turns invisible. The chain leading from one to the next. There's a chain floating in the air, attached to nothing. That is his action. Okay. Vala.
Vala is going to cast Toll the Dead on the dude that threw something at him.
Okay. He has not taken any damage.
Damn.
That's
Okay.
a wisdom saving throw.
Do I have Vala's pronouns wrong?
What?
You said that threw something at him. Vala's a
Huh.
her, right?
Yes. That threw
Okay, I'm
something
just
at
checking.
her. Apologies.
That was going to
I
be a
was thinking
surprise
of,
for
I was
Raven
thinking
later.
of the dude. Wisdom saving throw of 16.
Right. Does not make it. These guys are not rolling
Okay.
hot.
And then that'll be 11 damage.
All right.
And she's gonna look at the other one and say, "Do you want to test me as well?"
You can't see the other one.
The other dwarf?
Yeah, he's invisible.
invisible.
Oh, why is he invisible? I missed
He
that.
turned invisible.
Oh,
Just a
yeah,
minute
shit.
ago. Pay attention.
Never mind. I was
To the-
thinking about the Minotaur.
To the empty space at the end of the chain, you say that.
Oh, okay, I get it now. I was imagining the empty chain floating from the top of the Minotaur like it was like some magic snake whip. Yep.
No, much less terrifying.
Yeah.
You hear, my eyes are up here.
Oh, man.
The Minotaur pulls his horns out back from Orelton and is going to swing his great axe at you recklessly as well for advantage. Does not hit you.
Yay!
Why I gave you plate armor.
I'd like to think I earned it.
Duergar, North Dwarf is going to attempt to break free. He does not, but still spends his action remaining restrained. Kaya.
Back to Kaya. We're gonna go ahead and we'll just do a level 1 chromatic orb, and at the Minotaur.
Okay. Minotaur. At advantage.
At advantage, that's good because
Yep.
that's cocked. That was not much better. 16.
Hits.
Oh, okay.
His armor class is only 14. It's like hitting a steak.
All right. Some more acid damage, and we are looking at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 points of acid damage.
Points of acid damage. That's you throw out the orb and he starts to move out of the way, and Orelton grabs his horn, pulling him back into the path of this orb as it splashes full on the face. He collapses to the ground, and Orelton, you are left holding one large Minotaur horn with a bit of meat hanging from the end.
Try and scrape the rest of the meat off the end.
Ooh.
And then with that, I'm assuming does a Minotaur look dead then? I'm
Oh yeah,
assuming.
he's
Got
very
it.
dead.
Got it.
Melted.
Juiced.
Kaya's going to come around the corner. Not that it matters, but he's going to look over at the single dwarf and say that your master's dead. You don't have to follow him anymore.
In what
No
language?
effect, probably. Common. No. They're dwarves? Dwarvish.
Responding in Dwarven, he spits on the ground. Says, "One of them." You see the chain, the invisible one, shifts. As he free. Can only make it 15 feet away from his buddy. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But we can still see the end of the chain.
Yeah, you see the chain like move, like it kind of tugs and he shifts off to one side, out of the area of your entangle. But that was his action to do that. He doesn't have any bonus actions, so way to fuck up all my plans, Vala. Raven.
From where I'm located, did I hear that dwarf say only one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say something.
Well, I speak Dwarvish,
Basically,
so
Dwarven stuff.
yeah.
Oh, you do? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So three of you understood that because Vala, you've got tongues or comprehend languages. Tongues
And
or
I
comprehend languages?
Tongues.
I have
And
comprehend
you speak it.
languages from the helm, and I have tongues to speak it.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm
No,
gonna
tongues
move
grants you the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. So tongues does both for you.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
cool.
speak to anything
you're
and you
good.
can understand anything.
Cool.
So
You
I'll move
rock.
up within 30 feet, or move my 30 feet of movement, and then take my bonus action to move Hunter's Mark to the one that I can see.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say in Dwarvish, show us the other and we can help. And I'm gonna hold my action to see if they continue to attack.
Okay. Orelton.
Orelton, who does not speak Dwarvish, and half covered in acid with it dripping out of his mouth and holding the horn of his master, will push through Vala and Kaya, come up to the edge of the entanglement, and just let out a screeching roar, i.e. Dragonborn, and attempt to intimidate him into submission.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a intimidation check.
I love this.
14 and 9 is 24.
Okay. The one you can see drops the other piece of metal he had picked up and just like wide-eyed is just staring at you.
And I will begin
Good.
to like pace back and forth at the edge of the entangled zone, just to kind of add that little extra effort of intimidation until Vala or somebody else talks to him.
Okay. Vala.
I'm gonna say, you'll tell us where the other one is now. With hopefully using the intimidation from,
Okay.
Yep.
Gets to his turn. It's not just one. This is in Dwarven. So most of you can understand. The clan, they rescued us. We serve them now. We can't go back. If we turn on them, they'll kill us first. He's just like shaking. He's scared. He doesn't want to help you, but he doesn't want to fight you.
how large is
Kaya.
the clan? Sorry, go ahead. That's not me.
Your turn. It's Kaya's turn.
Guy's turn. I'm bad at that.
Then we'll let you live as miserably as you desire. But don't come after us.
From the side at the end of the chain, you see his invisibility falling as he swells inside the chain catching. As he grows, the bolt splits off and the collar falling from his neck. As the other Durgar, who happened to roll a natural 20 to not be intimidated, stands and is holding just a large gear with a broken edge. It looks almost like an axe shaft. He stands in resolute defiance of you. It is his action. He's going to 5, 10, 15, 20 move right up to Kaya and Vala.
Is he
he's
still
not on my map.
invisible?
Oh, sorry. There you go. And he's large.
Big.
There we go. He moves right here. So he's all right up in all three of y'all's face. Raven.
I guess, yeah, he's not attacking, so I can't use my reaction before my turn. But I will take that.
I will say he definitely moved aggressive. If he could have attacked, he would have. I'll let you use your held action.
Oh, okay. 19? Or 20, sorry, 30.
Hits.
Okay. So that's...
He is engaged, so you sneak attack.
Does his chain allow him to go that far?
Yeah,
He
it
broke free of
broke
it.
when he enlarged. Yeah.
Oh, got you.
You see, he has a little bit of blood on his neck from where it caught. He took a little bit of damage from that.
That is much better. That will be 10, 16, plus 3, 19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. He rushes up, ready to attack, probably Kaya, is my guess. And just an arrow between Kaya and Vala strikes him just below the sternum. And he looks kind of wide-eyed. And as he falls back, reverts back to his normal medium size, hitting the ground. Dead.
Not to like redo things, but is sneak attack able to be used on a reaction?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's once per turn, not once per round. So you can
Okay,
use it
just
on
wanna
somebody
make-
else's turn.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure. So, okay, I'll go ahead and step in to the ring. Let's see here.
We will say, for the sake of right now, you are out of combat.
So I'll sit here and I'll just tell them, or I'll tell the dwarf in Dwarvish, make your choice.
And then Vala's gonna say, death is another form of freedom.
Akron.
You kinda-
Someone asked about Akron.
I
Unless-
guess, yeah.
I tell you, will you let me go? I can tell you how many there are, where they are, and what they're doing. That's it.
All of that, and anybody else that's been through here.
Any elf.
We haven't been here very long. You're the first people we've seen. That's there's 4 other of the Minotaurs. They've been taking a lot of the traps. They didn't seem to work. They didn't go off when we found them. They seem to be set looking for something specific. We've been fixing them so they'll protect us against anyone that comes in here. We dug up and we escaped. The ones we were slaves to before, all of us. When we got through to wherever this is, big bastards made us slaves again. Said they'd keep us safe if we worked for them, and they wouldn't kill us. That deal's probably off.
Who were you enslaved to before?
The Deep City, its people. They're going to be hunting us, but if they find most of them dead. I was going to assume the same happened to me. So, if you're planning on killing everyone else here, I can probably find some way. Make a life. Right? Don't need that death freedom you were talking about. Don't really know much else. Lived my
You said
whole
that-
life underground.
You said they're further along down these channels, and there are 4 more.
This path, gesturing to the west, sends in a dead end. Looks like it used to be some kind of lab. This whole place looks like it was some kind of lab. A bunch of weird shit going on. Whatever's down there seems busted. Haven't figured out what it's for.
Which way seems busted?
Just the one to the west. That's a bunch of magic stuff. Not familiar with any of that kind of thing myself. We were looking for parts to repair the rest of the traps. Good. One of the Minotaurs found some medallion. He's the only one that can go in the room with the thing. Big mechanical thing. The other Minotaurs are back where we dug in. They made up a little base. The boss is the one you've got to worry about. Bigger than the rest. You got gray fur, red markings. Couple doors we haven't been able to get through. One just north, I'm guessing north of here. Other one in the room with big clockwork thing. Vault doors. I mean, I'll figure those out.
I think that's plenty to go off of, don't you guys?
One more. The traps. Are they magical or mechanical?
Everything around here seems mechanical. There's some magical whatchamacallits laying around. Don't know what to do. But all the traps we've been able to fix are, classic fallen rocks, guillotine blades, that kind of stuff. And they're just kind of peppered around. One of them's right there. That's the one we were going to fix next. And he kind of points where you guys, like, right next to you, Kaya. That little gear icon.
Yeah.
Him pointing it out, you can see there's a series of holes in the ground that look like something might come out of the holes if stepped on. You watched the Minotaur walk over it, and it hadn't gone off. That was what we were going to fix next. Either kill me now or let me go.
Front doors
I've
are on the
seen them.
corner to the right, as far as I'm concerned. Y'all three can do with them what you want.
So just to be clear, he said the west is the way to go. To the east is just pretty much just a dead end.
No, he said the west is a dead end. He said there's some broken
the west
shit
is
down
a
there.
dead end. Got it. Just so we're clear here, should I draw on the map to make
Yeah, you
sure
can draw
we're
on the
clear
map.
on which way's east and west?
I
To the
am
right
aware.
is-
Right is a dead end with some broken shit.
Okay.
Right is a dead end. All right.
Yeah, you got it. All right.
So that's.
The east. Fuck no.
I like, you guys gonna tell him, or do I have to?
I was like so deliberate. Like I was looking at it. I was fully backwards on
left,
my directions.
left, west, because they both have the eh sound.
The starboard side is a dead end.
Hey, we can
Port
go
is
Never
around.
there.
eat soggy waffles.
Look, I knew what I was talking
Necklace.
about. The dwarf was mixed up.
Sure.
Why is that a curved line?
He has spent his entire life underground. I can get the
Oh.
confusion.
Yeah.
I'll walk you out.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't know why it's
Just
drawing like that.
to make sure he leaves and doesn't run off.
He does, and when he pushes the door open, he strains against the light and kind of nods. Goes, good luck, and walks into the abandoned city without any equipment or supplies or anything. He just goes. He doesn't want to stick around any longer.
Let's see if he can not blow up a nuclear reactor too.
Right, well, while they're doing that, Vala's going to inspect this room for any other traps that have already been set or anything close to us.
This room, there are a couple like traps in the wall and stuff that seem to have been like torn apart. It's where they're like, there's a panel removed off the wall. You realize that the walls in this room are metal, and they're ripping out massive gears and random stuff. There's one that's been disassembled with a couple blade traps. It's kind of strewn on the ground. The piles of mechanical equipment that they found is separated into like useless crap and salvageable. And they just seem to be systematically tearing this room apart. Before you came in and interrupted.
Is right. Well, if I can ping it, is right here a hallway as well?
Oh yes, it is. Leading to a door at the end of the hallway.
Which I believe they said that was one of the doors that he couldn't go through, potentially.
Nope, he didn't say that. He said there were like big vault doors.
Said one to the north where he was at, and one in the room with the big mechanical baddie.
Yep.
Orelton's gonna continue down the hallway. Obviously keeping an eye out for traps, but when we get to, I assume this is a bridge of some variety?
Yeah, it's a metal kind of sheeted bridge. You can see through the grates to the canal that runs below and kind of heads off into the distance.
Hey, Raven, this seems like a good spot for traps. If you wouldn't take a peek for us.
Yeah, of course.
I will assist.
Whoops. I don't want to do this. Right,
An bar fell into the wall.
I accidentally deleted that. Okay.
What I do? Oh no.
All right. You're looking for traps from right there?
Yeah, just on the bridge. Yeah. Like
Go
right on the
ahead-
edge of the bridge.
Okay, go ahead and make it. So put me where you are while you're looking for traps in this particular spot.
I guess I'll just step right in front of Orelton.
Okay. You kind of step forward and you hear a click.
Ooh.
I figured I was
Should
screwed
have
either
just been in
way.
the same spot. Shouldn't have moved.
Pull this up real quick. Sorry.
I won't fight the DM, but I would say that going to look for traps, but that's fine.
Well, that's why I said where are you going and looking for traps?
You're fine. So what do I
Uh,
take? Or what happens to me?
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
21.
Hear a click, and from the floor, you hear the click. You look down, and you hear a second click and a series of clicks, and above you, a little nozzle drops down, and you jump back as a spray of, surprisingly enough, acid splashes into the ground where you just were. Some of it splashes onto you, but you avoid most of it. You take 3 points of acid damage. Okay. Nothing significant. Go ahead and make an investigation check to search for traps. Additional traps.
Okay. That's not going to be great. That is
Well,
a 9.
and I'm assisting you, so you have advantage.
Oh, okay. 15.
There do not seem to be any additional traps. You see there is a lever at the opposite end of this bridge, with this one with apparent mechanical function where it is directly connected to gears that connect to the bridge. Look like it draw it up, but it is currently lowered. No additional traps.
And kind of like rubbing the burn marks. It looks good on the bridge. Son of a bitch.
I don't want to be rude, but kind of seems like I should be the one looking for traps at this point.
Yeah, you go for it, bud.
And I'll just walk across the bridge.
Yeah, no additional traps. You make your way down, and there's
Making
another
our way down
yeah,
the bridge.
chip. Well, keep deleting the wrong thing. Okay.
There we go.
Yes, there's that. You kind of see this large hallway that kind of expands out in front of you. Still kind of dimly lit. There's a few lights. And it seems like the lever you hit at the beginning turned on the lights to all the hallways. Door to the left, hallway down, until it kind of disappears from sight.
Okay. When I get about to this point and seeing the long hallway in front of us, I will close my eyes and attempt to harness the secrets of the area and cast Find Traps.
Okay.
Which does not tell me 120 feet from wherever I'm at, and it doesn't tell me where traps are specifically, but you learn the general nature and the danger posed by each trap you sense.
You sense several traps. 2 of 120 feet. Give me one sec. Since 4 traps, 2 of pretty mild. Oh, we'll say for nature, the type of damage that they deal. 2 that deal just general physical damage. 1 dealing force damage, and another necromantic trap.
Okay. I will relay that to the group, and then I will, from where I'm standing, physically try and look for the rest of the traps.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check.
Okie dokie. Oh, that is a 23, a 19 plus 4.
3. It's pretty easy to make 2 of these out, actually. I'm not erasing fog anywhere else. 2 traps in this hallway. You make out lines that kind of run from the ceiling into the wall, and then a slight coloration change on the floor in the hall, where you think pressure plates might be installed. And then they're clearly like chipped, like they've been dug up and repaired by.
There and there. Watch your feet. In the meantime, what's behind door number 1? And I will attempt to open said door. Yep.
It is not locked. It pushes open, and there is a number of sarcophagi.
That's interesting. I didn't think we were in a crypt or a graveyard.
What size are these? Like, are these like
medium
human
creatures?
And elf size? Okay.
Some of them are a little bit more like damaged and worn. each of them having a small relief kind of carved at the bottom. And they have like titles. Like one of them says like Associate Director of Arcane Engineering. One says Department Head of Alternative Medicines. One says Lead Researcher in Research and Development. Kind of a variety of titles. Like these are employees, I guess, that were entombed here for whatever reason.
As soon as I see those, I'd like to go ahead and again use primeval awareness and see if there's any undead in the area within a mile.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You also sense an aberration.
Aberration. Okay. I don't think these are just here for any reason for storage. There's definitely undead and some sort of aberration in the area. I think they're using something to bring people back.
Do you think these individuals, these researchers, were doing that, or?
I don't know. Sounds like maybe the big boss that the dwarf was talking about might have something to do with that. Mention a medallion in a room nobody else was allowed to go in.
Just to make sure I clearly imparted this, that's the dwarf explained that he and the Minotaurs were like, they're squatters. They recently moved in.
I don't know.
But this place would have originally been for bringing back the dead?
I don't know. Maybe you have to keep looking, but something to keep in mind. We may run into some undead.
We taking a look at the sarcophagi?
I just cast my primal awareness.
I'd like to step over to a sarcophagi and see if there's like an inscription or a nameplate on one.
Yeah, there were names and then like titles. Like they're all like research, like department head titles. And then like simple reliefs carved into the top. Like one of them looks elven. One of them seems at first like a child, but you realize that would be silly, and it's can fly. There's a halfling. There's a halfling, a dwarf, an elf, 2 humans, and then an orc.
What was the orc's job?
His
HR.
reads HR, research and development. He's the head of research and development.
I'd kind of think that, I mean, everything in the city's pretty technologically advanced. This whole infrastructure's pretty advanced. It seems like this might have been a place of learning. The city, I mean, not where we're at right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's my only guess.
Do we open one of these up?
I don't see any reason to. You know, seem like regular folk that just knew a lot when they were alive.
Let's start with the halfling.
Am I here? Can you y'all listening to me, or are we just doing whatever the fuck we want at this point?
I'm pretty sure.
What did you say? Say it
I
one more
prefer
time.
not to open that.
These are all
Oh,
regular
okay.
folk that were just doing smart shit when they were alive.
Okay,
No
okay.
reason to desecrate their bodies, right?
Sorry, I don't know why that was a Rachel mistake.
Bala just doing whatever the fuck she wants all the time.
Ooh, corpses.
Princess.
That's what. Oh, yeah. Anyways, moving on.
I want to check in something really quick. Because specifically, you've got something I want to look at. Apologies as I.
Thanks for knowing my
Note.
character better than me, or remembering things I can do better than me.
I'll say this isn't a feature of your background, but you have
okay.
experience with anthropology, analyzing
Yeah.
cultures. Everything you've seen up until like this point, like mechanical creatures that were completely passive to you, in what seemed like a really advanced city. This area built into the wall itself, much more military, like it has a more militaristic, like Nalbrundian research facility kind of thing. Like you've seen this kind of like everything before, when compared to this, is kind of like all about utilitarian progressing the culture and the civilization. This is with traps and everything. This is a stark change. It's an odd contrast, but very much in line with what O'Relton was saying. That reminded me of your background. Like, there's a place for learning and research.
And I'll kind of relay that and confirm what O'Relton said. My understanding.
Plus, what's his name back there was talking about a lab too, so there's thing number 3. Anyway, see what's up here. Trap on your right. And I'll just like a motorcyclist points to a road hazard as they go by it, just like point as I walk by.
Okay.
There's a stone door there. You open it?
No. This was out of my line of sight when I checked for traps.
Okay.
Hey, Raven. Chance to redeem yourself?
I thought you wanted to do all the traps now.
First.
Sure, I got it. I'll take a look for traps here.
Investigation check.
I will assist.
Okie dokie. You rolling 2 or advantage?
Advantage.
That's good. Not as good, but 18.
18. The door does not appear to be trapped, but it is locked.
I think I might be able to help with that.
Sure, I was just going to beat it down.
Step up, and I will use, because I feel like this was an opportunity you gave me specifically, the Infiltrator's key.
Okay.
Ooh.
That. Remind me, does it actually let you just unlock a door? Or
No. Can be
with an
used
advantage?
basically like thieves' tools.
Okay.
When using the key, you are considered proficient in thieves' tools, and you have advantage on ability checks made to open locks.
Okay. Make a. It's D20 plus your dexterity. Advantage plus dexterity plus your proficiency modifier.
Okay. Well, I doubt I'm going to get any higher than that. Wow, those are both good. 24.
You guys watch. Kai pulls this key out of his pocket and just unlocks the door.
Wait, hold on. And we knew. Sorry. Remind Rachel. Did we know he had this key or something of the like? Can't remember where you got it.
We got it off of. It wasn't originally mine.
You found. Didn't you? You found it in Isaac's things, I think, right?
It was either in Isaac's things or it was It was one of the items we ended up getting after we defeated the Tau.
Oh, yes, it was in his hoard.
But we knew you had it. Yeah?
Yeah. It was
Okay,
distributed
okay.
out.
The door unlocks. It opens towards you. You have to step back. And it is just... The room is so dark, you can't see into it, even with the light directly over your head.
I have dark vision.
Doesn't help.
I'm going to spend 2 sorcery points to give me Eyes of the Devil so I can see through any magical darkness.
Doesn't help. It's just blackness in front of you.
I'd prefer not to go into that room. I can't even
I'll
see
cast
through
light in
it
the room.
with...
You cast light, you feel the spell,
Mhm.
and then the spell ends.
Let's
So it like
not-
lights up for a second and then goes away.
Nope, just you feel the spell cast, and like the moment the magic releases, just the spell's gone. Like you feel that magical connection just severed.
No, this is interesting. Is there any like debris? I imagine there's debris somewhere in the area.
There's like some
Oh.
rocks and stuff like that.
That's
That's
broken trap.
Not
yeah.
that it matters, but that wouldn't work. So I apologize.
Well, Eyes of the Devil?
Eyes of the Dark is
Oh, Eyes
actually
of the
what
Dark.
it is.
Oh, yeah. No, you're good. That's
I will then
Tight.
take a random piece of debris, rock, iron bar, whatever, cast light on it, and make sure the light spell holds. And then yeet it off into the room.
glowing. You throw it as soon as it crosses the threshold of the doorway. Black.
I'm gonna
that's
grab
really
a piece of debris and tie a string to it, and toss it in and hold the other side of the string.
Okay, you throw it. It crosses the threshold, and the string falls back to you, cleanly cut.
It's probably not a good idea to go in there.
Let's
Not sure we
keep
could if we
the
tried.
door locked.
Close the door. And
You-
I'm actually
you
going to go ahead and
close
try. Oh, good.
I'm just gonna you just put the key back in and just relock the door.
Yep, that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm going to put the key back in the door and relock it.
Whole lot of nope in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I'll walk past the other one and do the exact same thing, just point at it as I walk by.
Okay.
Do. And we journey.
See, I think.
The door at
I'm
the
a-
end of well, there's no other traps right there. I'll just give you that one. The door at the end of this hallway though is a large circular door. It not as strikingly vault-like as you think. Like we'll say that the Durgar had given you a little bit more of a description of the vault-like doors that had large handles, apparently requiring some sort of combination or something. This is just a large door. It has, well, pretty much a big doorknob just in the center of it.
This is a hobbit hole of a door.
It's like a hobbit hole door, yeah.
Okay.
But
Cute.
just rotten steel.
It's a
Rot
hobbit
like
door on steroid.
Blughd. Yeah, it's a steroid door,
Oh.
not rotted steel. I just wanted to make sure it was clear. I appreciate you for drawing the compass for me, David.
Yeah, no problem. Seeing as you were so sure.
You guys
And
proceed
then ate
southeast
your own
to the end of
words.
the hallway.
Southeast, yes.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I guess I'm just gonna check the knob in the middle.
Yeah. As soon as you touch it, the entire door, like at an angle, splits in half through the center of the knob as you touch it, and it almost like very sci-fi, like
It's over.
splits open. In the room, what immediately catches your attention are a number of containers all labeled. It looks like alchemical solutions. There's long workbenches piled with random bits of like machinery and bits like half assembled, all with a thick layer of dust over them. Some things look like they've recently been shuffled around. In the far corner, kind of curled, almost like a cat, a massive six-legged mechanical creature with giant, a massive jaw, very dragon-like, with electricity kind of crackling from the joints. Is curled up. There's a minotaur with a long medallion around his neck, just kind of going through some of the tools and stuff around, seemingly ignored by this creature. As the door opens, clockwork eyes open and shift across to look at you. As the clockwork Behir begins to rise. And I think that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Probably a good idea.
Shit.
Well,
Welcome to my fantasy weapons research facility, everybody.
Crazy.
oh man.
I like the
I had
dark
a lot of
room.
fun.
Just avoid.
Much of a
Yeah, the void.
just it's always a risk, but the sphere of annihilation from the tomb of annihilation, I think is what it is, the classic
Oh,
D&D
yeah.
adventure that just, if anybody walks into it, they die, they're just destroyed. It was risky. We're on a streamed game, and so I was a little like, it's a bad way to go. But I can't seem to hit you guys with anything, so I have to rely on you killing yourselves. Well, I had a lot of
Already
fun.
died once this campaign, so I don't mind dying twice.
Yeah, there's not really any coming back from this one, though.
It's true.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us and hanging out. We hope you had as much fun as we did. I think unless we have any closing statements or anything, everybody good? I think
I think I'm good.
Stay cool,
like,
friends.
follow, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff.
Maybe
be around.
you'll get a special stream on Saturday for Halloween. Maybe we'll do some spoopy stuff.
Spoopy!
stream.
So
Yeah,
Spoopy,
we'll see.
scary, skeleton.
Hopefully
make sure
we'll
you
see.
follow
We'll
so
see.
you get notifications.
Make sure we put those announcements out. That's YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook. We don't have an Instagram or a TikTok yet.
We do have
Well,
an
we have an
actually.
Instagram, but it's kind of not active yet. So
It's a little lackluster.
yeah,
A little bit of an Instagram.
100 follows, and we'll get our Instagram put up.
Shh, no, don't
Yeah.
say that.
Promising an awful lot at 100, I'm just saying.
Paula has officially decided to take over that part of it. So there you go.
Instamaster. All
Hey,
right.
already
Well,
doing merch over here.
everybody, thank you so much. Have a great night. We will see you next time on Easy Dispel.